What's up, folks? I'm Craig Stern. I'm the developer of Telepath Tactics Liberated, and we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of gameplay preview here. As you can see, we've got a caravan under attack, and we've got 6 characters under our command to try to deal with these bandits. These are just the starting 6 characters. There's about a couple dozen characters in the game, but these are sort of your core squad for much of the game. First up, we've got the sisters, Emma and Sabrina. We can kind of preview the map here. We've got the enemy boss over there. We've got a couple of green units who we want to try to save. We'll split up our forces to try to reach those green units a little bit faster and perhaps even save them from death. That right there is a mantis knight. That is a giant mantis she's riding on. And if we are quick enough, we can get them to join our team. So we're going to try that out. So first up here we have Sabrina. She is not going to be able to reach Scarlet Etoile here on this first turn. What she can do, though, is you can see she has a few abilities. First of all, she can place traps. So we're just going to place a snare trap right here. Kind of bait that bandit into trying to attack her. As you can see, she is well within move and attack range. Even if we have her sprint and move over here, she is still in move and attack range. Actually, you know what? We don't want to do that because he can move over here and attack from this direction. We want to make sure he goes into the snare trap. So let's move her over here. That's perfect. That way he can't actually reach her if he goes this way. He has to go into the snare trap. We'll kind of lure him out. Gavriel is our bowman, and she can't quite reach him, so we're going to have her head over here instead. She's going to be backing up Sabrina. Emma, we also want to sprint. That helps her move faster, and that way she can get to Lakshmi Bana over here faster. And she is out of attack range of any enemies. We are going to have Madeline Strongarm here draw in at least one of these guys. And hopefully give Emma a clearer field to get to Lakshmi over there. Madeline Strongarm isn't named Strongarm for nothing. She's got a heck of a swing. And there's our snare trap. Very nice. Ooh. Lakshmi's getting backstabbed there. She's definitely going to be in some trouble if we don't rescue her quickly. The good news is, Lakshmi has bandages, so she can last a little bit. As you can see, backstabbing is a thing in this game. If you can hit enemies from behind, it does quite a bit of damage. We also have mid-battle saving that we can do at the start of every turn. So, lucky for us, Scarlet decided to hang out right here, which is going to make recruiting her very easy. We just go over here and we talk. And voila, she's put on the blue paint. Much like Cavaliers in the classic Fire Emblem games, and by classic I mean, you know, the best ones, like the Teleus games, she can keep moving after she attacks. She has Canto, or Cantor as they now call it. And that makes her very handy. And a level up for Gabrielle. Ooh, strength and energy, and she's learned a new skill, Arced Shot. This has a range of 3 to 6. Most attacks in this game hit by default. Most have 100% accuracy. Arced Shot is one of the rare exceptions. Because it is so long range, for balance reasons, sometimes it misses. Meanwhile, we need to help out Madeline here. She's getting a bit beat up. I think Farasat, our photokineticist, can help out quite a bit. And down goes that one. And it's a level up for Farasat. Some shadow resistance and some psi. Very nice. Trying to figure out, would it be better to send Louise up there to help out Emma, or should she help out here? Yeah, I think we're gonna have Louise hang out here and heal Madeline. And get a nice little level up for her. She gains size, some health, and Kinetic Gust. This is a fun one. You can shove enemies in general, just in this game, if you have the shove ability, but especially you can like super duper shove them if you have a mentalist on your team, like Louise. Kinetic Gust has a range of, I think, up to 4 spaces, so you can shove enemies into each other, shove them into boulders, shove boulders into them, shove them into water or lava. All kinds of fun stuff. Let's talk to Lakshmi here. And now we have Lakshmi. Let's go ahead and sprint with Emma to get her another couple spaces. That way she can take up a more defensive position here. Lakshmi can come up from behind and shoot her crossbow. Alright, and I think that's all we're doing for this turn. Oh, I was like, why is she doing so little damage? I currently have her equipped with a practice sword. It deals less damage on purpose. It's very good for experience farming. Not so good for actually killing enemies. I'm gonna have to fix that in a second. And it's a level up for Sabrina. More energy, crush resistance, and she has a new equipment mastery. She can now use medium armor. Alright, very nice. Let's go ahead and save the game and continue on. Yep, this is the tutorial letting you know that you can use sprint and you can use undo. The undo stack in this game is pretty cool. You can move multiple characters and undo all their moves in a row, just as long as you don't attack or use an item or anything like that. Get a nice little backstab in. Alright, so Sabrina's actually pretty high level. Let's get another little grip of experience for Gabrielle here. Gabrielle likes to pun. That's one of her things. Let's grab this sack, get some money. Come over here. Let's also get Scarlet through this little gap here, and let's lay down a trap. Very nice. And Gabrielle, yeah, you just head on this way. Meanwhile, Louise is a little bit hurt, but not anything too terrible. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, this should reasonably be more experience for Farasat. How much energy you got? 16? You're fine. Let's have you finish this individual. Louise can head up. Well, actually, maybe let's not send her directly into the thick of the enemy until we know what this situation's like. So Emma's at 19 out of 37. So she can survive another round like that last one. Let's go ahead and equip her with a nicer sword, though. Could also use bandages, just to patch her up a little bit. Probably unnecessary, but why not? Gotta show off the gameplay in this gameplay video, am I right? And that means using items. Let's grab that. Maybe go ahead and backstab this bowman. Actually, we have a shove opportunity here. We could shove this bandit into the boulder there. It'll only do 6 damage though, so not the most ideal. This, on the other hand, that's a one-shot. You'll love to see it. More health, a bit of dodge, and she too can now use medium armor. Louise, head on over here. Just stay right out of his range and heal yourself, please. And I do believe that is the turn. Ooh. The unfortunate thing about backstabbing is the enemy can do it too. And if you play on a high enough difficulty, they will. So it's just letting us know this is a boss. We don't want to just casually wander into his attack range if we can help it. Let's go ahead and grab this money. Shoot this individual here. And let's see. So one thing we can do with Louise is make it a little bit harder for this guy to get into this area. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just shove this boulder into their way. So now he can make it like into there, and then we can just absolutely swarm him. Meanwhile, let's finish this guy off. Gabrielle, can you reach with arced shot? You can. Let's do a little bit of chip damage. Yeah. Well, that's the risk with arced shot. Sometimes you miss. And actually, Madeline can draw that guy and do some damage on retaliation. That may be the play. Scarlet, come hang out over here. Sabrina, come hang out over here. And I think that's a pretty decent setup. In theory, we could have her move up and place a snare trap there, but then we run the risk of the boss moving down here and whacking her from this side. I think it's better to just wait a turn. Ah, the enemy saw that one. Okay. Meanwhile, that guy decided not to take the bait. Clever girl. Alright, let's think this through. Well, one good thing we have going for us is this boss's back is exposed. And backstab attacks do not draw counterattacks. So we can get in a few hits with almost total impunity here. Sabrina, just go ahead and lay a trap back here. That way this guy cannot sneak up and backstab. Gabrielle. Oh yeah, we've got this. And yeah, Lakshmi could probably use the experience, or Farasat, actually. Heck, we could even finish him off by just shoving him into Sabrina with Louise. In fact, let's do that. That sounds like fun. And now she can pull at a distance. Let's have Scarlet come block this area over here so Farasat can light blast this guy. A bit more chip from Lakshmi. And we can actually go pull Lakshmi out of harm's way here, just so that she doesn't draw an attack from that guy. So now he will go after Scarlet, because that is the only target available. And I really want what's in that item sack, so I'm just going to go grab that right now. And that looks pretty good to me. Let's end the turn. Ooh, the double counter. Because attacks in this game can hit more than one target, if more than one of those targets can counterattack, they'll do it. That shove did damage 2 of my characters in a row, which kind of sucks, but I feel like it was worth it to absolutely annihilate that dude on the counterattack. Let's see. Let's get Farasat a bit more experience here. Let's move him up and light blast this individual. Light blast has a chance to cause blinded. In this case, it did not. And I may have misplayed this slightly, because now Madeline can't reach this dude to finish. I think I'll just have Sabrina shove her a space closer. And Louise, why don't you go shove that guy into a boulder, eh? And that's the end of that. And here we've got some more exposition. I'll kind of skip over it. The story is, in my opinion, granted it's a biased opinion because I read it, but in my opinion it's pretty good. But I don't want to bore you by just going through the story here in this little gameplay video, so we're just going to skip on through it. And hey, look at that. We got 500 aura and our first shop. So, we've got sort of standard issue weapons here. We have throwing axes, which are kind of fun. And then we have proc gen weapons. These are, there's only one of each when you go to a shop. And what you get is kind of the luck of the draw. So we've got a staggering iron sword here that prevents counterattacks, and it also deals quite a lot of damage, actually. It's a plus 11 strength. However, it reduces your energy and cuts your reflexes by 2, so there are some downsides. Overall, though, a very good sword. A fine light iron axe. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty decent axe. Superb heavy iron bow. Wow, that thing would turn Gabrielle into an absolute killing machine. Durable iron crossbow. We've got quite a few uses on that, so we don't have to worry about that breaking. Graceful glimmering iron lance. Wow, that's nice. Huh. So that increases dodge by 10, accuracy by 20, and it can cause the distracted status effect, which means it can literally just stuff enemy counterattacks. That's pretty cool. So the thing to keep in mind here is we have a limited amount of money. We only have 955 aura to work with here. And everything we buy for everyone in our group has to fit within that budget. And it's not just weapons, right? There's armor. We could get leather armor, chainmail, boots, helms, wooden shield. We don't have anyone that can use wing armor yet, but that will be a consideration at some point. There's the optional grapple chain, which is a fun little item you can equip in an offhand for a character to grab and pull enemies at a distance. We've got consumables, so, you know, we've got bandages, focus pills, restore energy, apples do a little bit of each. We've got whetstones, which give a strength boost for the rest of the battle. We've got adrenaline pills, which are kind of like having sprint in your pocket, even if a character doesn't know it. And we have a novice battle primer, which just straight up gives experience to a character. It's level scaled, so, you know, it's less effective on characters who have more levels, but, you know, if there's a character you haven't been using and you want to get them up to speed, this is a good item to have. No food. And we do have something that we could sell. We do have some leather armor just kind of sitting around. Let's go ahead and give this to Emma. And let's kind of scroll through and see what we've got. Okay, so Madeline has a rusty sword that she picked up. She can't use swords, so that's not really for her. We do also have runner's cleats, which both Emma and Sabrina have sprint, but Madeline does not, so I actually want to give this to her, I think. So now we have 3 people on our team that can sprint. Plus Scarlet, so we've got a pretty mobile squad here. I think I will get the extremely good bow for Gabrielle, just because she has extremely good range, and being able to deal massive amounts of damage at that range would be very helpful. Let's go ahead and pick up a second set of leather armor. Give this one to Sabrina. Increase her survivability a bit. And we could probably use some bandages, some focus pills. Yeah, maybe a novice battle primer. I'll think about it. Oh, and we gotta get the grapple chain. Come on. How do you not get the grapple chain? Question is, who do we give the grapple chain to? I'm going to give it to Scarlet, I think. And any more armor? We could buy some chainmail for Scarlet. She's already pretty tanky, but even more tankiness never hurts, am I right? Let's go ahead and give that to you. We've got only 107 aura left. I think we're actually in pretty good shape. Both Emma and Sabrina have iron swords. And we can't really afford much else. Could get more throwing axes for Madeline. I think we're good. Let's exit. You know what? Already did it, my friend. Meanwhile, more plot. I'll just skip through all this. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Yep. Good character development. Ties into the story. If you want to know more, try the game. So here is an optional battle. This one actually, this fight does not show up unless you successfully save Lakshmi. But if you do save Lakshmi, then you get this this fight, and this is I think one of the more memorable missions in the game. It's quite challenging. Makes use of elevation, makes use of the game's ability to use switches. Got some creative victory conditions. I quite like this one. So let's take a quick look-see. We are trying to rescue Meridian, this Sprigget who's lying unconscious in the jail up there. If we rescue her, then we get to recruit her, and that's really good, because she's a flyer. You don't get a ton of flyers in this game, but she is one of the ones you can get, and it's very helpful. Let's go ahead and throw Emma and Sabrina up front. Scarlet, you're there. Lakshmi, you're there. Louise back here. Farasat here. Gabrielle here. So this first group is a bit of a problem. They have a pyrokineticist with them. And the thing about pyrokineticists is they have an ability called Pyroblast. It's a bit like Light Blast that we've been using with Farasat, except instead of blinding people, it sets them on fire. And that can ruin your day pretty quickly if you're not careful. We've also got a lot of overlapping enemy ranges here. So drawing out the enemies without getting absolutely clobbered can be a bit challenging. One way to do it is to send Scarlet around this way. And, oh, Madeline, you don't have shove yet. We need to fix that. Well, that's all right. So you can go here. You can go here. You can go here. So unfortunately, they're not in range for arc shot. Another thing we could do to try to draw them out is to place down a trap here. They do recognize traps as your creations, and that can be sort of used to draw them out in certain situations. But let's do something a little bit less cheesy. Let's use Scarlet to draw their attention and see how that works out for us. Brilliant. Well, that guy's not brilliant. That guy's gonna die. In one hit, no less. Goodbye. There we go. There's shove. Very nice. Let's just go ahead and grab that. That's my money now. Lakshmi can come up, backstab this guy. Farasat, can you just mind blast this dude into oblivion, please? Ooh, we've got a new skill, Blinding Cloak. This is a fun one. This buffs an ally, giving them plus 30% dodge. Dang. Unfortunately, this guy is not in range to get shoved into the water. I wish it were so, but it is not. We're just going to have to finish him off the old-fashioned way. We can, though, shove him back a space just to ensure he can't easily get back there. Not the hugest difference in the world, but every little bit makes a difference, you know? And Gabrielle, if you would please arc shot this healer. There we go. You'll love to see it. Going after our own healer, as one might expect. Their healer running away and healing. So here's the tutorial telling us about how it's good to attack from the high ground. Obi-Wan knew what he was doing. Let's go ahead and move our way over here. Some experience for Lakshmi and a level up. More health, more strength. Very handy. Madeline can't quite reach the healer from over here, but she does have throwing axes. If we equip those, we can... Oh, I guess we could have also used sprint, but let's show off the throwing axes, eh? And that's the end of that. Okay. Let's just feed this dude to Farazat. And another level up. More energy, more health. Very handy. So one thing we can do here is we can use skills like pull to increase our movement naturally. Effectively getting bonus movement. Ooh, up to 9% dodge on Sabrina, and she's gained reflexes. Reflexes are handy because they let you turn to face attacks before they hit you, which means you cannot be backstabbed. And we'll do a little bit of self-healing here. More experience for Louise. Some mental resistance, some energy. Uh-oh. Looks like we've activated the enemy snipers. And that means everyone is going to start charging us from the hill. In some ways, that's actually good, because that means we won't have to deal with fighting them on the high ground. Let's go ahead and drop a snare trap behind Sabrina here. We will shove this guy. And we will give him a second shove. Some falling damage. If a character is shoved off a high enough elevation, in this case he went from 3 to 1, they will become stunned upon landing. So we now don't have to worry about that dude for a turn or so, which is handy. Let's just be careful not to leave anyone in range of those guys. We don't want to aggro them if we can help it. Hold on just a second. I have an idea. Scarlet, can you use your grapple chain to pull that guy into the barrel? You sure can. And that's the end of that guy. And Louise? Just get a free shot off on this dude, why don't you? Alright, that is the end of that turn. Unfortunately, we're taking more damage and dealing less damage than we reasonably ought to because that enemy is attacking us from the high ground. We can fix that, though. In the meantime, Emma's leveled up and learned Motivate. If you play Fire Emblem, yes, that's right, your lord is a dancer. Here, the tutorial's telling us that we can unlock this locked door by throwing that switch over there. And you know what? I don't like you being there, Archer. I'm just going to shove you off this cliff. Meanwhile, Emma, you can come over here. And let's have you sprint on over to talk to that disgruntled enemy Archer. I have a feeling he might join us. All right. So now we've got Zimmer on our side, and that means we have one extra Archer to play with. Gabrielle can murk this guy. An extra counterattack, and more pierce resistance. So that makes her more effective as an anti-bow user unit. I think Lakshmi should be able to finish this guy. Although, because she's a crossbowman, she can actually come in and attack in close quarters with her bayonet attack. So we'll use that to advance her some. Do a... You know what, before we do anything with Louise... Yeah, Scarlet, why don't you finish this guy off? Now let's move Louise up and make some room for Scarlet to come up. And Farasat, while you're here, why don't you actually come over here and use Blinding Cloak on Sabrina, make her even more dodgy. Could maybe have her do a little bit of dodge tanking. As you can see, this increased her dodge to 39%, which is pretty impressive. Uh-oh, we've drawn the attention of some of the people down below. We'd better move quickly. Sabrina, if you would be so kind. Just come over here, throw down a snare trap, and shove this guy off the cliff, please. Ooh, an extra counterattack and more health. Very nice. Madeline, just chuck an axe at this guy. Thank you. I would like to get more experience for Zimmer here. And with Motivate, we can. Look at that. Shot up like an arrow. Pun intended. Let's go ahead and pull this lever here. and let's see what is in store for us here. Alright folks, that's all the time I have for this, but hopefully this gave you a good sense of what Telepath Tactics Liberated is all about. I hope you try out the game, and I hope you have a great time with it, and yeah,